feels so strange to say that. If you're one of the 2 people who watched my first video, thank you so much. Anyways, if you couldn't tell from the intro, I recently purchased the 14-inch MacBook Pro. It's the baseline M2 Max version. I have some thoughts regarding it which I thought I will share. As soon as I got the MacBook Pro, I transferred some footage onto it and started editing in DaVinci Resolve. The video you just watched was the first footage I edited on the new MacBook Pro. Even though it's just a short 30-second sequence, as soon as I loaded the footage into the timeline in DaVinci Resolve and hit play, I could perceive smoothness which I was unable to perceive even on my desktop computer. The desktop computer behind me has a RTX 3080, AMD Ryzen 5600X and a 750W PSU. Even with all that power, I could still see some dropped frames, choppiness and general sluggishness from time to time. Don't get me wrong, you can edit on the desktop fine, but subconsciously it did take away from the joy of editing though. I think this is the first time we are seeing so much computational power available in such portable and compact form factors, especially when compared against desktops. Apple Silicon trumps against most combinations of desktop plus CPUs and GPUs at most tasks. But still there are certain exceptions though, where the highest end desktop class components can still beat out Apple, especially in something like gaming. But we have to remember that we are comparing a portable battery operated device against the highest end desktop class components, which require a lot of power. I will be completely real, the M2 Max is an incredible chip, but I also know that it is a complete overkill for me. I don't need it. I could have been happy with the M2 Pro, but I was fortunate enough to be able to afford it, so I got it. Apple MacBooks are generally incredibly pricey, but for the first time in a long time I feel they're worth it because of the performance they offer. The MacBooks are available at multiple price points. You can get the M1, M2 MacBooks, or you can get the M2 Pro chip which offers the best value for money, or you can get the ridiculous M2 Max or M2 Ultras with incredible performance. Let's talk about the hardware on the new MacBook Pros. Let's begin with the I/O. The new M2 MacBook Pros comes with HDMI 2.1 port instead of the 2.0 port present on the M1 MacBook Pros. 2.1 standard supports 4K at 120Hz. I still don't understand why we can't just have a single USB-C cable for everything, both for data transfer as well as transferring media information. There are certain displays which use USB-C, so if electronics and display manufacturers can come together to just use USB-C, we can just have a single USB-C cable. I am actually glad with the rumors saying that Apple's going to adopt USB-C for their new iPhone models. I think it's about time. The MacBook Pro comes with 3 USB-C/Thunderbolt ports. You can use these ports to charge the MacBook as well. Now I am going to talk about my favorite slot on the MacBook Pros. It is the UHS-2 SD card slot. For someone who likes to take a lot of photographs and film videos, it is a godsend. For anyone who has used an external SD card reader before, you know how finicky they are and you always lose them when you need them the most. So I'm so glad the SD card reader is inbuilt into the MacBook Pro. I love it. We have to talk about the typing experience, but before that I have to tell you that I had the unfortunate experience of owning the 2016 MacBook Pros. The one with the infamous touch bar and even more infamous butterfly switches. The key travel was shallow, but I didn't mind that. I like typing on that keyboard. But after using the keyboard for a couple of years, the key stopped working, and every time I would hit a key, it would press multiple times. Eventually, Apple did offer free keyboard replacements though, but I didn't get it when they offered it, and later I had to pay money to get it replaced. The new keyboards, the mechanism is changed. The key travel is still shallow, but I like typing on this new keyboard as well. I think they are absolutely fine keyboards. MagSafe is back. Apple brought back MagSafe with the M1 MacBooks. MagSafe in theory is supposed to protect your device by ripping off if you trip over the cable instead of pulling the MacBook down with it. The 14-inch MacBook Pro comes with 96-watt power adapter. It also comes with a braided USB-C cable. The other end of the cable is the MagSafe connector. The MagSafe connector attaches to the computer with a nice satisfying click. The first thing one would notice about MacBook Pro hardware is the displays, but I left it to the last because there's a lot to talk about. The displays on the MacBook Pro are mini LED. They have excellent contrast ratio. They almost look like OLED panels. Displays are capable of ProMotion, that is Apple talk for 120Hz. The displays also support HDR. The peak brightness is something ridiculous like 1600 nits. I watched HDR content on YouTube and couple of shows on Dolby Vision and Netflix. They looked great, but I did notice an issue sometimes though. Whenever the scene changed, not always, but sometimes when the scene changed from bright to dark, I could see a flicker. It was almost as if the mini LED panel took a fraction of millisecond to respond to the new brightness levels. It wasn't always, but I did notice it though. I really like the display, but if I have the option again, I think I would choose the 16-inch screen. First because it's better for editing, but also because on the 14-inch screen the notch is more noticeable. On the 16-inch screen people have said that it's less noticeable. You get used to the notch. I don't mind it now, but it's annoying because it's there. I think if Apple tried enough, they could have figured out a way to make the display without the notch. At least when it's in full screen mode, the top bar turns black and it's not noticeable. It blends in well because of the mini LED implementation. Coming towards the end of the review, I have to reiterate the price. It's an expensive device, but I think it's well worth it for the performance it offers. Just don't get it for gaming. If I have to describe how I felt using MacBook Pro, it's the feeling of joy. I still remember the very first time when I loaded footage into the timeline in DaVinci Resolve and hit play. It put a smile on my face. I don't think I can go back to editing on the desktop after using the MacBook Pro. I didn't even connect an external monitor or use the mouse to edit this video. It was all done on the trackpad, and even then it was effortless. Thank you for watching the video. If you like the video, smash the like button and let me know. Hopefully I'll see you around.